Right now, in attics, garages, and hunting cabins across America, old gear is sitting in boxes that haven't been opened in decades. Wooden duck decoys with chipped paint, grandfather's old Coleman lantern, a canvas jacket that smells like campfire and hasn't been worn since the 1970s. Most families think this stuff is junk, yard sale material. $100 if you're lucky. They're wrong. Some of these items are selling at auction for more than the truck they were carried in, and the people throwing them into garage sale bins have no idea what they're giving away. There are 10 old hunting items that are quietly becoming priceless in 2026. Not new gear, not reproductions. The originals, the ones built when American manufacturers still cared about what they shipped. Number 1 on this list has sold at auction for over $100,000 for a single piece of carved wood. Let's start with number 10, vintage ammunition tins. Here's something most hunters don't realize. That old tin of Winchester, Remington, or Peters ammunition sitting in your grandfather's garage? It's worth more sealed than the ammo inside it is worth fired. Pre-1960s ammunition tins with original graphics, sealed boxes, and intact labels have become serious collectibles. The artwork alone, hand-drawn hunting scenes, old brand logos, original color printing, represents an era of American manufacturing that doesn't exist anymore. These weren't designed by marketing firms. They were designed by craftsmen. Collectors pay for condition, brand, and rarity. Common brands in fair shape, $30 to $75 per box. Scarce calibers or discontinued brands like Peters with pristine graphics, $150 to $500 per box. Full sealed cases in original shipping crates, $1,000 and up. Don't open them. Don't fire the ammo. The tin is worth more than the cartridges. Number 9, old hunting calls. A hand-turned wooden duck call from the 1940s used to be a $5 tool. Today, the right maker's mark turns it into a 4-figure collectible. The names that matter here are Charles Grubb and P.S. Olt. These men hand-turn calls from solid hardwood, tune them by ear, and stamp them with their name. Each one sounds different. Each one was made by hand. A generic vintage wooden call in decent shape, $20 to $75. Calls with identifiable maker's marks from the 1930s through 1950s, $20 to $800. Competition-grade calls from legendary carvers have broken $5,000 at sporting auctions. If it's hand-turned, stamped, and pre-1960, don't sell it. Get it appraised. Number 8. Antique fishing creels. The woven wicker or willow creel that your grandfather carried trout in is now a serious decorating and sporting collectible, and most families have no idea. Original hand-woven creels from the late 1800s through the 1940s were built by regional basket weavers, many of them Appalachian or Adirondack craftsmen whose techniques died with them. The weave pattern, the leather harness hardware, the condition of the lid hinge. These details determine whether you're holding a $40 basket or a $400 artifact. Standard wicker creels in used condition, $40 to $100. Pre-1920 creels with original leather straps and brass hardware intact, $200 to $500. Museum-grade examples from the Adirondack tradition have exceeded $2,000. If the leather is original and the weave is tight, that's not a basket, that's an heirloom. Number 7. Old Coleman lanterns. Coleman has been building lanterns in Wichita, Kansas since 1903. But the ones collectors want are the pre-1960 models before mass production simplified the manufacturing and cheapened the materials. The early Coleman 200A, the Christmas lantern, is the gold standard. Introduced in 1951 with a signature red and green color scheme, it became the most recognized camping lantern in American history. The original 200A models were built with heavier steel, hand-soldered brass fittings, and glass globes that were thicker than anything Coleman produces today. Here's how to date them. Every Coleman lantern has a date stamp on the bottom. That stamp is the entire value proposition. A common 1960s or 1970s Coleman lantern in working condition, $30 to $75. First production year examples from 1951 in mint condition, $500 to $1,000. Check the date stamp before you sell. That's the whole game. Quick check. Have you found anything from this list in your garage yet? Drop a comment with what you've got, even if you're not sure what it's worth. I read every comment, and the best finds get pinned. Stay with me. The next 5 items are where the real money starts. Number 5. Vintage buck and case knives. If your grandfather carried a folding knife in his pocket, there's a good chance it was a buck 110 or a case trapper. And there's a good chance it's worth a lot more than you think. The buck 110 folding hunter was introduced in 1964. It became the best-selling folding knife in American history. But the early production runs, 1964 through the mid-1970s, were built at the original El Cajon, California factory with hand-ground blades and brass bolsters that carried a heavier gauge than modern production. Those early 110s are the ones collectors want. Case knives go even deeper. Case & Sons has been building knives in Bradford, Pennsylvania since 1905. Pre-war case knives with original bone handles, the old tang stamps, and tested XX steel are serious four-figure collectibles in clean condition. A common 1980s Buck 110, $30 to $75. Pre-war case trappers with original bone handles and clean tang stamps, $500 to $2,000. Check the tang stamp. Check the date code. That pocket knife might be paying for your next rifle. Number 4. Old binoculars, specifically Zeiss and Leica. Here's something the optics industry doesn't advertise. The glass in a 1950s Zeiss binocular is, in many cases, optically superior to mid-range binoculars being sold today for $800. The coatings were hand-applied. The prisms were hand-aligned. The mechanical focus was fitted to tolerances that modern mass production doesn't attempt. Pre-war Zeiss Jena binoculars, built in the original German factory before the 1945 partition, are the most sought-after sporting optics in the collector market. A generic vintage binocular in working condition, $20 to $50. Rare Leica Trinovid models with original cases and documentation, $500 to $1,500. If it says Zeiss or Leica on the body, do not sell it at a yard sale, ever. Number 2. Pre-1964 Winchester gear. You already know the 1964 dividing line if you collect Winchester firearms. But here's what most collectors miss. That same dividing line applies to everything Winchester manufactured, not just the guns, the ammunition boxes, the original factory catalogs, all of it. Pre-1964 Winchester branded accessories were built under the same quality-first philosophy that produced the Model 12 and the Model 70. Original Winchester cleaning rod sets with brass fittings, factory-branded wooden ammunition crates with stenciled labels. The reason this category is exploding is crossover appeal. Gun collectors want them, advertising collectors want them, Americana collectors want them. 3 separate buyer pools competing for the same shrinking supply. Common Winchester cleaning kits, $30 to $100, rare point-of-sale displays and original factory shipping crates have exceeded $5,000 at Rock Island Auction Company. If it says Winchester and it's older than 1964, it belongs in a collection, not a dumpster. Number 1. Mason decoys. This is the single most valuable category of hunting collectible in the world, and most people who own one think it's a painted block of wood. Every decoy was carved from solid white cedar, hand-shaped, weighted with lead, and painted by artists who specialized in waterfowl plumage. The paint patterns were so accurate that collectors can identify individual painters by brushstroke. Here's why Mason decoys are priceless. The factory closed in 1924, 102 years ago. The tooling was scrapped, the patterns were lost. Every Mason decoy in existence is the last Mason decoy that will ever exist, and the auction records prove it. In 2007, a single Mason pinetail drake sold at auction for $1,080,000 for a wooden duck. Standard Mason challenge grade decoys in good original paint, $2,000 to $8,000. Premier grade examples with original paint and documented provenance, $50,000 to $200,000. If you find a Mason decoy in your grandfather's hunting cabin, do not repaint it, do not sand it, do not clean it. The old paint is the value. Now I want to hear from you. What's the oldest piece of hunting gear in your family? Drop a comment with what it is, how old it is, and where it's been sitting. The best stories get pinned, and if you're not sure what something's worth, describe it in the comments. I'll tell you if you're sitting on something. If you know someone who's about to clean out a hunting cabin or an old garage, share this video with them before they throw anything away. That one share could save them thousands. If this video earned its time, hit the like button. Subscribe. We cover the gear, the firearms, and the collectibles that are worth more than most people realize. Stay smart. Stay patient, and never sell what you haven't appraised.